Have you ever been in the dark? I mean, really in the dark? It's a pretty primal feeling, right? The world you know just kind of disappears, and all these old, deep-seated fears start bubbling up. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into an ancient story about a goddess who doesn't just hang out in the night, she conquers its deepest, darkest terrors. So let's just start right there. What is it about the dark that gets to you? Is it not knowing which way to go, or maybe the things you can't quite see? You know, it might not even be about physical darkness. It could be that feeling of being lost or scared in your own life. And that feeling, that's exactly where our story kicks off.
So, meet Sudhana. He's on this epic spiritual journey, going from one teacher to the next, looking for enlightenment. But here's the thing. He gets to a new city and bam, the sun goes down. Darkness is falling fast. He's all alone, he can't see the path ahead, and he really, really needs a guide.
And just when you think he's about to lose all hope, he looks up. The answer he's looking for isn't down on the city's streets. Nope, it's in the night sky itself. What he sees is pretty much the heart of this whole story, the star-bodied goddess. Sudhana just stares as this incredible being appears in the heavens. This is Vasantayayantī, the night goddess. And the way she's described, wow, it's just mind-blowing. Her body is pure gold. Her hair and eyes are this deep sapphire blue. But get this, all the stars in the night sky, they're literally a part of her body, shining on her. And here's the craziest part. In every single one of her pores, she's actively saving beings. This is no static statue in the sky. She's a cosmic force of pure, nonstop compassion. So what's her superpower exactly? Well, the text gives it this really specific name. It's a liberation that shatters the darkness of ignorance with the light of truth. Right there, that tells you everything. Her real job isn't fighting the literal night. It's about fighting that darkness inside all of us. The confusion, the fear, the stuff that makes us feel lost. And this isn't just some abstract philosophical idea either. The story gives us some very real, very vivid examples of how she puts this power into action to help people who are in serious trouble.
Okay, so imagine you're a sailor. It's pitch black, you're caught in a monster storm. Waves are crashing over your boat. You have no idea where you are, and you're pretty sure this is the end. It's a terrifying real-life danger. But it's also a perfect metaphor for those times in our own lives when we just feel completely overwhelmed, like we're drowning in our problems.
So how does Vasantayayantī help? She doesn't just snap her fingers and make the storm vanish. No. She shows up in forms the sailors can actually relate to and trust, like a seasoned sea captain, or a mythical fish king, or a spirit of the ocean. She calms the chaos around them and, this is the most important part, she shines a light on the true path, guiding them all the way back to the safety of the shore. Now, let's take it back to dry land. The fears here are just as real, right? A traveler stuck in a forest or a desert at night, totally disoriented, maybe worried about bandits. And again, you see the parallel. It's just like being trapped by our own confusion, totally unable to see which way to go.
Her approach on land is so elegant. She becomes the moon, or the stars, or just a little flash of light, just enough to help you see. Sometimes she'll even create a comforting illusion, like the glimmer of a house in the distance, or the sound of other travelers, just to make you feel less alone and less afraid. She doesn't always get rid of the dark, but she always gives you the light you need to find your way through it.
And this quote, this really gets to the heart of her motivation. Every time she rescues someone, she dedicates the positive energy from that act to everyone. Her one and only wish is for every single being to be free from suffering, both the physical kind and the mental kind. That incredible compassion is what fuels all of her power. Okay, so a being this powerful, this compassionate, they don't just pop into existence, right? So how did she become the star-bodied goddess? Well, her origin story spans a stretch of time that's almost impossible for us to even imagine. Her journey started eons and eons ago. She was a queen, and she made a promise, a vow, to achieve this. Then, in another lifetime, she was a young woman who had this direct, powerful experience that totally locked her onto this path. The goddess that Sudhana sees tonight, she's the grand finale, the result of countless lifetimes of practice and sticking to that one single goal, helping others. And if you want a sense of the time scale we're talking about, try to wrap your head around this. The text says she practiced for a number of eons equal to 80 times the number of atoms in the mythical Mount Sumeru, the mountain at the very center of the universe. I mean, just Think about that. It's a number that's designed to break your brain. It's meant to show a commitment that is truly, truly limitless.
So, a cosmic goddess, an ancient story. What does any of this mean for us, right here, right now? Let's pull it all together and figure out the big takeaway.
After he sees all this, Sudhana is just speechless. He writes this poem praising her, and he says something amazing. He says, "Wherever I look now, in any corner of existence, I see you." He realizes her help isn't just for sailors or travelers. It's a universal potential that's always, always there. And then he says this. He says, you could spend eons just praising the good qualities found in one of her pores, and you'd run out of time long before you finish describing them. It's just a beautiful way of saying her compassion and wisdom are truly infinite. And that really brings us home. Vasantayayantī is so much more than just a goddess of the night. She's the ultimate symbol of our own potential. She's that spark of wisdom inside all of us that can light up our own confusion. And she's that deep well of compassion we can use to rescue ourselves and each other from fear. She's the light that can't be put out, even in the deepest, darkest night. So that really leaves us with one final question to think about. Vasantayayantī showed up as a sea captain, as moonlight, as a comforting presence. So how can we do that in our own lives with the people around us? How can we be a light for others when they find themselves lost in the dark?